You decided to speak to an astrologer regarding your future. Okay. So suppose that thought comes on you that let's consult a guy and let him tell us what the future holds for us. So what are the traits of a very good astrologer? Okay, I think I've addressed this in my past video, I believe, but I'll refresh it. Okay. So the thing is that astrologers tend to read your charts in their own personal manner. Some have got their own set of knowledge which they tend to apply. So believe me, it's not a science 100%. You can call it partly science and partly art. So depending upon what that person has been going through in his own life, or that way, or the person's own internal thinking, you will tend to get a different focus on the results as such. So when you go to an astrologer, the first thing which he tells you is that what is your lagna. Okay, and you should take note of these things as to what you should keep in mind. Nowadays what happens is that people are now going through apps and everything where all the data is given, but the thing is that speaking to a professional astrologer, you should do your homework. When that person asks a couple of questions regarding what has your life been, etc., etc., you should anticipate that, so that shows that the client is very well prepared in answering the questions in a very thoughtful and a very truthful manner. That's one thing. Okay, so once you go to an astrologer, he will ask you all your basic details like date of birth, etc., time and place of birth. You give it to him, he or she may take some time to get back to you with a session. Okay. So my own style of consultation is that I tend to take the details a couple of days earlier, because I take a lot of time in analyzing the chart from all the aspects, not just astrological but also from a very real world practical point of view. So that takes me a lot of time. So once I go through, or any astrologer goes through the chart, he sees your lagna, which is your ascendant. He checks your moon, where is it placed, if there is any malefic aspect. Okay, and he goes around and checking, and he does check what are the other planets doing in your chart, whether they are favorable, they are having good aspects, what are the malefics doing, what is the current transit going about with respect to the moon and lagna. So these are the basic aspects which any astrologer goes through. And then once you ask for very clear detail, if you are asking when will my promotion happen, or if I can go to a foreign land, etc., etc., then that Varshfal or the transit chart or even the dasha system will come, wherein the all these aspects come into being while you are preparing a report of sort and telling you clearly that what is the case. So once you decide to go to an astrologer, you should keep in mind your lagna, your moon, basically all your nakshatra, which is your moon nakshatra as well, and basic placement of all the planets, and the transit of the longer planets like Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, Ketu, because these tend to give a very good trend as to how your life will play out. The shorter planets, the planets which have very short transit, like say Mercury, 20, 23, 24 days, can have a very short term impact. So, you can, for very long term decisions, you can tend to overlook that. But for depending upon what your question is, if it is a long term question or a very short term question, these transits also make a lot of sense. You also see the dashas also, which lord is actually, in your chart right now, whose dasha it is, what is the lordship of the houses. These are some of the things where a guided person can help you in, a person can actually guide you in telling you as to what your strengths are and what things you should avoid. And a good astrologer will actually tell you a lot of precautions and very less number of remedies which are just pinpointed and just required to pull you through a tough situation. Many a times what happens is that the clients themselves, they want very tough remedies. So that is quite a surprising, since I've done hundreds of consultations, some of the clients, they are insisting, no, we want very tough remedies. So I will write them a tough remedy instead of doing, if your back is aching, I will tell them to do back exercise 20 times or 30 times instead of doing just 10 reps. If you want to lose weight for 10 kilos, I will suggest exercises for say 15 or 20 kilos. If that is what they want, so be it. But the thing is that you need to help the client. So once you uh, uh, take the consultation, then make sure that the astrologer addresses all your this thing, and make sure you trust his judgment. Don't run around with 3 or 4 5 astrologers and taking all their opinions, because all of them will definitely give you a different flavor of opinion. Some will focus on career, some will focus on finances, some will focus on your personal life, some will focus on some past life pending karma, some will focus on the remedies, some will focus on the current state of affairs. So you need not run around with so many people. Just stick to one guy. If that person's predictions are if he can predict your past very well just by seeing your chart, and then he's able to correlate what you're going through right now, probably better to stick to him and just listen to his or her suggestions, and make sure that you listen to them, and then take a call whether you want to take another consultation or whatever, or the session, or just take a follow-up as to where your life is trending. So I hope you like this video. I mean, this is just after hundreds of consultations, I am squeezing out whatever things I have in such videos. And if you like it, you just please show your support by liking, and if you can share in your friends groups or etc., I'll be really grateful. Thank you very much.